welcome back to episode 133 on Tuesday, the day after a long weekend,
Right.
The 4th of July weekend. Thank you so much for all your kind comments. As David had posted, his brother-in-law Tom passed away last week after a battle with cancer, so super sad.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things, it's like when you say brother-in-law, like it doesn't seem like it's like, oh, it's an in-law kind of thing, but he was part of the family for 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 50 years.
Yeah.
I think they met 50. That's almost 51 years ago.
Yeah. And like they always hosted a lot of holidays and things like that, and he was a big wine connoisseur. So
That was his business also.
That's true. Yes, he was in the wine business.
He was in the wine business.
But just such a great guy, and just a super person all the way around. So it's always like when you say in-law, it doesn't have the weight of like a sibling kind of thing, but he was actually like a sibling to David. So
Oh, yeah.
for sure. So we kind of just took a break last week because it was just kind of like a lot, and it's like hard to come on and be like all, everything's awesome, kind of thing when
Right.
it wasn't.
And the thing, and two, I mean, not that it necessarily has anything to do with COVID or anything like that. I mean, that's not why he passed away. It was cancer. But, having gone through like that whole year of not seeing people very often, and then, he got sick about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, or was diagnosed. I guess you typically have it some period of time before you're diagnosed. So anyway, but he was diagnosed about a year ago. And, we couldn't really, we didn't have a normal Christmas. We didn't do all the things that you'd normally do. We did get to see him in June because there was a get-together. I think we even talked about that
Yes.
a few weeks ago. And he was there, so that was great. But, I didn't really expect it to. I thought he'd be around for a little while longer. I thought there was, a reasonable chance we'd see him again. So that obviously didn't happen. But, so it's kind of like on top of all this stuff that we've all been going through. And, you don't really think about this if you haven't lost someone during that time period. But they had difficulty. We're having a memorial service for him. And they had difficulty scheduling it because the church that they belong to, which is not too far from where we live, it was, only just really reopened. I mean, they were having small services and things like that. So a lot of people who had, who lost relatives over the pandemic year, they'd have small funerals, but they wouldn't have a full-blown thing. And so there's a backlog of, people who want to have a fuller, more involved memorial service for someone who might have died 6 months ago or a year ago,
Right.
or whatever, and they never really had the opportunity to have like family in from out of town and all that sort of thing. So you don't think about these things if you haven't been in that situation. So,
For sure.
So, even though he passed away last week, the memorial service isn't going to be until the 16th, which, it's fine. It's one of the reasons why we had the family over here on Sunday. No, on Sunday the 4th.
On Sunday.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Getting my days mixed
Because there's this, there's sort of a lag between the time that he passed and the time we're all going to get together, and it was sort of like we didn't know what to do, really, So.
And it kind of just seemed like it didn't feel right not to like see people right afterwards, even if there wasn't going to be like an actual, wake or funeral like there normally was, kind of thing. And so through David talking with some of his siblings, we were just like, we just got here, but you're welcome. People brought their suits, some people swam, we grilled out, and everyone got to see our house. And
and that was part of it. It was that we already had planned for Emma, our oldest, to come and visit because she hadn't actually had a chance to get up to the house yet, the new place. So, that was sort of already in the works.
And then we're like, guess what? 20 more people are coming.
Yeah. Well, she and her partner were okay with that.
Yes.
But But well, and it turned out not to be quite as many people as we thought. But
Yeah.
it was a bit of a crowd. But anyway, I mean, it was very nice. It wasn't like
It was so nice.
It wasn't like a somber thing. It was more like what you might can think of as an Irish wake, the old tradition of. I mean, we didn't drink to excess and all that, but the old tradition of an Irish wake would be it's a party.
It is.
I mean, it's both sad and I guess happy at the same time. So it was. Maybe a little bit in that vein, although my brother-in-law was Italian, not Irish. But that's right.
It was more of a celebration of life than,
He was an honorary Irishman because my mother loved him. So
that's true.
But anyway, it was more of an upbeat thing. But it was still it was good to get together. But so, the last week was just sort of up in the air. And things had already we'd kind of gotten out of our schedule anyway because of, just a lot of different things going on. I mean, up until the point where Tom passed away, most of the distractions we had were good distractions. We just had a lot of, stuff to do with the new house and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, we kind of got off our schedule.
Yeah, and so keeping on that topic,
right. I was
we're revisiting our this channel's schedule. We've almost been at it a year. We started in August.
Was it August or September?
I believe it was August.
Yeah, you're probably right. We could go back and check.
And obviously, when things were still shut down, we had more time on our hands.
Right.
And so first, we don't even really remember how it came up that we had a schedule of we're going to post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Well, I do know that we did. The first one was on a Tuesday. And it was just kind of on a lark we did it. And then, it was short. It was only about 5 minutes or so. And then so we did another kind of little thing on Thursday and then Saturday. And then we kind of went into that pattern. And initially we were trying to keep everything under 15 minutes because we were posting directly from we'd shoot the video on a phone and post directly, not go through the computer where you can do a longer video. But anyway, so the other thing too is that, I mean, for me, a lot of it when we began this, a lot of it was just like anxiety, like not knowing what to do. And it was something of a distraction. The good news is, of course, things are less anxious, or anxiety inducing, I guess is a better way to put it now. So we have talked about maybe not discontinuing it, but just coming up with a different schedule that wouldn't require I don't want to put it that way. I was going to say wouldn't require so much work. That's a terrible way to put it.
Yeah.
Because that's really not
have
the
it
point.
More like, not having a set schedule per se, and just posting when we can, posting more pictures, and just kind of like little snippets.
And certainly certainly on a weekly basis.
Yes.
But not, every few days.
Yeah.
Not every. Well, it's essentially like every other day.
Well, and at least now things are opening up more, where we will have more things to say because we'll have done things, kind of thing. Sometimes it was like, okay, nothing's happened since the last time we talked.
Right.
What should we talk about now?
Right. That is very true.
So we appreciate you still listening.
And other people, other people, obviously, hopefully, are doing more things and maybe spending a little less time staring at a screen, But it's not to cut back at all. Well, I mean, it will be cutting back a little bit, I guess, but it's not because we're, unhappy with doing it or whatever.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we just will have, now that things are getting kind of back to normal, we'll be doing more things. We have more opportunities to go places and explore our new neighborhood and things like that, and go places that we will use that time to do that.
So yeah, but that's sort of the plan. It'll be a more coherent plan in the future.
It will.
We'll come up with something more, set. But for right now, we're just kind of exploring options and figuring out. We're not going to stop posting things, but we're just kind of trying
pictures.
to cat pictures and videos.
Yeah.
Cat video. No. Well, sometimes.
We will share in the next one, though. Our new furniture just arrived today for our front room, so we're excited about that.
Finally.
And our cat, Cordy, is already sleeping on there, so cat approved.
We should have lit the citronella candle. I mean,
I know, it's a little buggy out here, that is for sure. It's still, I believe, yeah, it's 82 degrees still.
It's been a very hot day.
It's been a very hot weekend.
Very hot weekend.
We got to see some fireworks from here, from our deck on the 4th, from a park that's that way, and then neighbors this way had really elaborate fireworks. So it was almost like being at our actual thing, where you could see it very up close. So that was kind of fun. And then Friday night or Saturday night, Dave and I got in the pool in the evening because there's a Great America, which is an amusement park.
What's funny because we think of it as Great America, but I guess it's Six Flags.
Yeah.
Or it's Six Flags Great America. It was originally Great America.
Right. Then purchased by Six Flags. They had fireworks the 3rd and the 4th, so we got in the pool at night, which was delightful. We couldn't see anything.
We couldn't see the fireworks. You can kind of see a little bit of like little flashes, kind of.
I envisioned it to be
fireworks.
like a very, you could see
that
like
would have
everything.
been good.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
So instead I just like walked around the pool for exercise like some kind of geriatric. Like we're living in a retirement home.
And then I was like waving my arms like, look at me.
So there's that.
Yeah, we are definitely getting used out of the pool this weekend because it was so hot, in the 90s every day. Yeah, and it's just been kind of like a weird week, just everything. And then my mom fell on the 4th of July at my sister's house on her driveway, just kind of getting out of the car. What I didn't find out until today is she was actually holding a casserole dish. So when she tripped, she just kind of like couldn't, her face kind of took the brunt.
But she did, but she brought a covered dish.
She brought a covered
which
dish.
Was important. No, I don't mean to make light of it.
Which I think was Tupperware, so her dish survived, kind of things. But that was just like another level of like, oh my gosh, now what's going to happen,
so we found
kind of
out
thing.
On Saturday
while we were getting ready for people to come over. So luckily my sister was with her, and she's been staying there the last few nights for observation. And then I spent the day there today with them, just so I could see my mom in person and see if she's okay. So yeah, it's just kind of been a roller coaster of stuff. So but we looked at every comment that you guys sent, and it kind of replied to everybody. So it was very kind of you to be so understanding and sticking with us. And we love all your comments. We love the people that come and we've met from this channel. So it's definitely something that I think we'll look back on, years to come and be like, and laugh about some of the things that we talked about. I mean, I still go back to the ones that I've laughed really hard.
But this isn't goodbye.
It's not goodbye.
You made it sound like you're like,
and
it'll be a fond memory.
Yeah, just watch the reruns. No, I'm just kidding. No, it'll be good. And then we'll just kind of update as we can. Yeah. Kind of thing. So we just wanted to pop on and say hello. And now our neighbor's back there with his dog. So we'll say goodnight for now. And then we will see you very soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye.